Hi, I'm Randy Bates from the Bates Motel on Haunted Hayride, and now we're at Pennhurst Asylum in beautiful downtown Spring City. I've been doing haunted attractions for 20 years on our farm. I've done a lot of consulting around the country with other haunted attractions, and I was approached by the property owners to come out and look at the place for the feasibility to see whether this attraction was going to work or not. When I walked into this place the first time and I looked at all these buildings around here, I was absolutely stunned by the ambiance of this place, and I knew it would be a world-class haunted house. When we first walked in, there was debris everywhere, the windows were all broken, there was spray paint and tags all over the place, and it was creepy. It was really creepy, and I looked at this place and it just gave me chills, and I knew it was going to be a big deal, it was going to be a big success. The administration building was built in 1908. Several of the other buildings were built around the same period, and then other buildings were constructed in the years after that. Several of the props that we have were in the buildings. We were able to go through some of the different buildings and hospitals. We've got desks, we've got some lights that we took from the hospital. There's a morgue scene that we built, and we actually used some of the real morgue from the hospital building. We've tried to use some of the real props, the real things that were here, but we've also brought in a lot of things that we built on our own. Things that we bought, different kinds of animatronics that are available on the open market. There's about 22 rooms that you go through, and the one thing that's really unique about this place, you guys that have all been to haunted houses before, they slap up a bunch of plywood walls, they paint it black, and you kind of wander your way through these things, and it's a maze and this and that. I wanted this to be totally different than all other attractions out there. So we did not maze any of these rooms. What we're doing is we're actually using props and sets to maze the people through the room. So there's certain things, there's a lot of different scare tactics that we used to really get people going. And what you want to do is you want to be able to force a person that has to walk close to something that they normally would not want to walk towards. Okay. A dead body, a skeleton, something that they know is going to jump out at them. So we've been able to position different items, furniture, filing cabinets, gurneys, beds, things like that are going to force people to walk towards the scare. And so instead of having all these walls where you would maze through, we're actually using these props to set up that maze. It's very high tech, but it's the entire package, and that's what you need to have. You can't just have a guy jumping out and scaring people. So we've got a custom audio track that we made, and you'll hear that tonight. We've got specific audio sounds in some of the different rooms. And then we also have a commercial lighting controller, so the lights are flickering and dimming and things like that. We're able to control that completely. We also have some fog machines that are placed around, just a little bit, not a lot of fog, but we have scents in those fogs. And one of them is an antiseptic scent. So when you walk into the operating room, it kind of smells like an operating room. And so we try to attack all the senses. And once you do that, once you make the people believe that they're actually in the Pennhurst Asylum, and now is when you can mess with their mind and really get them scared.
How did you get this job?
Well, I was actually watching a Halloween special on Travel Channel, actually on the Bates Motel. Yeah. And then they had a little extra of Pennhurst, and I was like, wow, that'd be amazing, and it's only like 5 minutes from my house. So I emailed the Bates Motel, and I actually got an interview for Pennhurst, and that's basically how I got it.
How long does it take you to get into makeup and full costume?
I'd say it takes about a half hour to get 15 minutes for makeup, 15 minutes for costume, and then like maybe another 15 minutes to get myself pumped up to get ready to scare people.
The tunnels, definitely. There's once you go through the first attraction, which is the asylum, you come out of the last room, you queue up, you walk down the steps into the basement, and then you're led into the tunnels. And it's an 800-foot walk through the tunnels underground. Now they're lit, but they're very dim, and again the lights are flickering, and we've got some actors hidden down there. So, but I think it's when you're in it for the first time, you think the tunnel's never going to end. So if you're claustrophobic, you might not want to go to that part. But I think that's going to be the selling feature of this haunted attraction, is actually going through these tunnels.
Will you be doing this again next year?
You know, if it works out this year, we'd love to do it again next year.